Hey guys, welcome to Flash Flick Reviews. This is Advait here, and we have finally arrived. The sixth and final episode of Loki is out, and it was just amazing. I have a lot to talk about, but before that, this video is going to contain spoilers. A lot of spoilers about the ending of Loki, about what happens in this episode, about the previous episode. So essentially, it's going to contain a lot of spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the show, if you haven't watched this episode, then do watch it, come back and continue the video. Yeah. Let's get started. There's a lot to talk about. But one thing, I was kind of skeptical for the ending of Loki because the previous shows that Marvel had in 2021, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, both of them were really good shows. But the way they ended, there were aspects of it that I wasn't completely satisfied with. I'm not saying they're bad endings. The endings worked fine, but there were certain aspects of it that I thought, oh, maybe they could have explored that more. Maybe they could have done that. Maybe they could have done this. And, I thought Loki might end up like that because the show has been so terrific and consistent through these 5 episodes that I didn't want the 6th episode to be, to not satisfy me completely. And I have to tell you, this episode was extremely satisfying. In the end, it sets up for some huge things that are about to come out from Marvel, both in films and shows. At the same time, it completes the story that it was telling in these 6 episodes, and that's what I really loved about it. Let's start at the beginning. Loki and Sylvie defeat Alliance in the previous episode, and now they've entered this huge castle-like structure, and they enter into it, and there's Miss Minutes in it, and they have a conversation, and she puts forward a deal where, the one who's behind all of this can make it possible that Loki and Sylvie can live in the same timeline, and Loki can actually defeat the Avengers in the Battle of New York. So that's the proposition that Miss Minutes puts forward to Loki and Sylvie, and then we cut to other scenes at the TVA. Ravonna is ready to run away from it. She's trying to tell herself that everything is fine, that all of the things were going as they were supposed to go. And then we also have Mobius come back at TVA, and there's a very interesting conversation that goes on between them. Mobius is trying to tell Ravonna that things are not right. It's not right what the TVA is trying to do, and all of that. That was a very interesting conversation. Mobius then goes ahead to prune Ravonna, but Ravonna is just too quick for him, and she just leaves from the place with Mobius not knowing what to do. Coming back to what's happening with Sylvie and Loki, they go ahead and meet the person behind all of this, who's pulling all the strings, the person in the castle, and he's Kang the Conqueror. So Kang the Conqueror is essentially this entity who knows everything. He knows what happened in the past, he knows what is happening, and he knows what is going to happen in the future. So it's like this all-seeing entity, and they have this long conversation where Kang goes about explaining the origin of TVA. It was essentially done because the variants of Kang himself turned greedy, and they wanted all of these timelines for themselves. They wanted to rule all of these timelines, and because of which he went ahead to get Alliance and defeat all of these variants and establish the TVA so as to maintain order in the entire universe, which I thought was a very cool backstory for the TVA. Now it really changes perspectives because now you know the stakes are extremely high. If the TVA is brought down, then there could be an all-out multi-dimensional war. But if the TVA exists, then it is violating the basic human rights. So there are stuff like that at that point, really make you think a lot, which is absolutely great because you're now constantly thinking, whose side are you supposed to be on? And one thing I really love about this is that there is no villain in the end. I mean, there are bad people, there are good people, there are people who are bad and good, but there is no clear-cut villain in the show. It's essentially them taking bad decisions or bad people going about doing something that is actually a good thing. And that's what I loved about this show. In the end, that it doesn't end with this huge fight between Loki, Sylvie and Kang, and there's like things going around and like people are just punching each other. It doesn't end like that. it's more profound when you think about it. It's more profound in its ideologies, and that's what I absolutely love about this show. And after him explaining all of that, you see Loki understanding that this might actually be the truth. And Sylvie is not ready to accept it because he has been driven there with revenge, with only revenge on her mind. She wants to kill Kang once and for all. And there is this small fight that happens between Loki and Sylvie. That's essentially Loki trying to convince her that what Kang is telling is the truth, and killing Kang might be even worse because there's going to be other variants of Kang who might come around and wage this huge multi-dimensional war, which would be very worse. On the flip side, if they let Kang give up his role and Loki and Sylvie were able to control the TVA, there would be more order rather than chaos. After all of this, Sylvie goes ahead to kill Kang, before which she pushes away Loki inside the TVA, closes the portal, goes ahead and straight up kills Kang. This just unleashes God knows how many branches in the sacred timeline. Branches just keep coming up. There's so many branches now in the timeline, which is huge when we talk about Marvel, when we talk about the films that are about to come. Probably this is the way we can see multiple versions of Spider-Man come together in Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the setup for what is going to happen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I think the way they did it was very good. It just didn't feel like there was nothing much to the show and it was just essentially set up for the future of Marvel films. It had substance in it. It developed the character of Loki in a huge way. Much more than all of those films were able to develop his character. And there was this very unique and bizarre vibe to it. And it was very competently made. Technically, the show was great. Cinematography, writing, acting, direction, everything was just so perfect for what it was going for. And after all of these branches come out in timeline, Loki is back at the TVA. He rushes and runs to find Mobius so that he can explain what is about to happen, so that they can prepare for this huge war that is about to come. And goes to Mobius, he tells everything that there is going to be this huge war, we have to prepare for it. And Mobius just looks at him and says, "Who are you? You must be that analyst. So what are you trying to tell? Just calm down." Which is insane. Now that means that either Loki is in a completely different timeline from what happened before, which is the most likely explanation again, which can mean many things. What I think is that essentially Loki is in a different timeline from all of those branches that have come out, and this version of Mobius doesn't even know who Loki is. Essentially, this version of TVA was not the same version of TVA that we have been seeing in the initial episodes, so Mobius doesn't know anything. But the final touch to this episode is when Loki looks away, and essentially we see in the earlier episodes that there was supposed to be a statue of 3 timekeepers. But now we see that there is a statue of Kang. Of Kang just standing out there in his full glory. And Loki is just shocked beyond belief. That means in one of those timelines, Kang has already taken over the TVA. Which can mean a lot of things. Which can mean just insane stuff. There's going to be a lot of things ahead for Marvel. Lot of things ahead for Marvel shows, Marvel films, Marvel projects, everything. It's going to mean a lot. Now the existence of multiple timelines is just going to mean a lot for all of those upcoming films I've talked about. No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. So yeah, a great way to end the series. I thought it was great. Now yes, some people would have wanted a more closed ending, a more happy ending if you might. But I got the answers I wanted. I got what I needed from the show, because all of the questions that were bugging me from the start, I had answers for it in the end. I got the answers. And also got a few more questions about what's going to happen, how is this going to affect that, and all of that. So, a great ending, balances everything out perfectly. It maintains the tone of what it was going for initially, ends with the same, and really a great show from Marvel. Easily the best Marvel show out of all of the shows that we've gotten this year. WandaVision, Falcon the Winter Soldier. And it might not just be the best Marvel show of this year, it might be one of my favorite shows of 2021. That's how amazing the show was. I just cannot wait to see the upcoming Marvel films and shows. And yeah, there is a mid-credit scene which just says that Loki will return in season 2, which is amazing. So we are just getting another season of Loki. If they maintain this quality of writing, cinematography, the technical aspects, everything, they just maintain it, then I'm very excited to watch another season of Loki. Loki turned out to be a huge surprise for me because personally I was expecting it to be another Marvel show, but it didn't. It turned out to be much more profound, much more interesting, and much more unique than I ever expected it to be. And it was absolutely awesome. With all of that said, I'm going to give this entire season of Loki an A. On the entertainment scale, it is a solid 9 out of 10. I absolutely love this season. So those are my thoughts on episode 6, the entire show in general. I loved it. Put down in the comments what you guys thought about the show. And are you excited for the future of Marvel? How do you think all of these things would tie up in the future projects? How would it affect Spider-Man? How would it affect Doctor Strange? All of that, put everything down in the comments. I'm very satisfied right now. And do give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, share this video. And I'll see you again